Okay, so OS does what you demands it to do, simply. Okay, you talk about Windows, what you do with Windows. You open Notepad, you do certain you open Notepad, you write down something, you ask CPU to do some certain things for you. A lot of things you does file management, you do multitasking, you do memory management, IO management, process management, sort of things you would have done with the Windows. Okay, same way, Linux is also an operating system. I will not get into much detail how it evolved, what happened, how it came into the picture. I'll just talk about features, what it has, and what we can do with it. So it does for you file management. File management, you can create, delete, rewrite files, whatever you want you can do. Multitasking, you can work all together with 2 tasks, 3 tasks, and number using CPU. Switching, input output, management, memory management, process management, device management. This lot of things you can do with Linux kernel, networking. Okay, so Linux kernel as you can say it's heart of an operating Linux-based operating system or Unix-based operating system. Okay, which can offer you these many things. Okay, right. So what is happening behind the scene? Just a moment. Paint. Okay, so when you hit a command or you offer something or you use a request, what happens? It reaches to shell okay, I am looking for it. When you hit the command, it reaches to shell, then shell hand it over to Linux kernel, and then ultimately it interacts with the computer hardware. So you cannot directly interact with the computer hardware. You need some interface. You need some interface. Without that, you cannot interact with the hardware, right? So user cannot directly interact with the hardware. You need some mediator which can help you to send commands which operating system can understand and which operating system can understand, and it can respond back to the request, right? So this is this is a user request. In the same manner, an application also interact with the hardware using Linux kernel. Okay, so this is a basic idea what kernel does. So the kernel decides who will use these resources for how long and when. It runs your programs to set up to execute binary files. The kernel acts as an intermediary between the computer hardware and various applications. So Linux kernel decides who will use the resources and how long and when. It runs your program or setups to execute binary files. Okay. Okay, so here's my VM. What I want to say is nothing but, so this is my shell. Okay, just a second. Okay, so currently I'm using the bash. So what I'm doing, I'm asking my operating system, I want to know which shell I am working on right now. So I'm just issuing it, I just issue one command, say echo $shell. So it returns me the shell, it returning something to me, right? So this is, I'm the user who has got this interface, putty. On that, I am issuing a command echo $shell. Shell, which shell? Then bash shell itself interacts with the Linux kernel and then the hardware, and it sends back the request response back to me saying that, okay, I'm using bash. Okay. Okay. So other thing, what is shell? Okay, so you can say it's an user program, or it is an environment provider for user interaction. For user interaction. Right. What it does, you can say it is a command language interpreter also. Why command line interpreter? As I said, hardware doesn't understand, or you cannot send signals directly to the hardware. It is again a machine language. So it converts the user interactions to machine language, which, okay, someone is asking something, I don't know. Yeah, it is command line interpreter that execute commands read from standard input and what could be the standard input device? Your keyboard or a file itself, if in the case of an application. Okay, and gives back to you. Okay. Okay. The shell gets started when you log in or open a console, as I shown you. Okay, like as I said, I can open a new terminal here. As soon as I open a new terminal, I get a shell. I say who? It's Oracle user. Okay, I say which shell? That's again same thing. Say same that. So as soon as you open a terminal, you get the shell initiated. Okay, that's how operating system is designed. Okay. So again the thing is shell is not part of the kernel. It's not part of kernel. Okay. It's a quick and you can say dirty way of executing utilities. Okay, so this is what shell does for you. We have several shells available. What all shells are available, like we have bash, born again shell, C shell, corn shell, TCFH or CSH you can say, and many more, but we will just focus on bash because that includes everything that we have, you know. Okay, so how you get the shell prompt? Okay, how you get the shell prompt? Using the terminal or using the SSH or using the console. So terminal is nothing but I gave you this, you know, this is just terminal. You are this is, I can show you if I can, yeah. So this is just like a Windows operating system. Okay, the Linux, it does have the UI, but typically in production environments when you do a real work, we don't get, you know, this UI enabled. We just have the console. So what you will get there, you will just get a PuTTY connection there. PuTTY is nothing but an SSH client which allows you to connect to certain servers using your credentials. For that you must have your user credentials in the LDAP server. Okay, so well, I'll cover all these questions at the end of this session. Okay, there too also we have PowerShell is there, but you know that's not something that, you know, it has a different syntax, but you can take some simulators that you know, it will just work like shell the way it works on Linux system, but my preference is you just go on the Linux server itself. There are a lot of free online Linux interpreters available that they just provide you, basic shell access where you can run your command and practice that. Simply go and check for, see, let me show you. Online shell scripting or interpreters. Lot of sites offers you to, but you won't be having root access, but still you can have this running simple commands there. For complex, at least maybe this is not running well. Okay, leave it for a while. We'll see. Where I was? Okay, here. All right, so you can use a putty terminal, or if you're already on the host, you can just open a terminal here. Right now, I'm already on operating system. It offers you some interface, just like, it has the terminal where you can just get in. And as I said, as soon as you are on operating system, the bash starts running. Okay. So if you're connecting using putty, still you must have, username and credentials to connect to the server, host name, right? Putty is nothing but a client which allows you to connect a remote server. Okay. So what you can do there, provide your credentials, provide server name and credentials, log into the host. Okay. So that's another way. Okay, when you're already on as soon as you log into system, okay, you kind of client, or just like in Windows you have command prompt. Okay, simple. SSH, it's a secure client, again, like just like putty. I mean, putty is an example of secure client. Okay, so take this guy from here and put it here. Okay, console is nothing but, as I shown you here, it's you just click something, just like on Windows, you say SQL plus, it gets you the prompt. It is doing something for you, right? So this is again an application, as I shown you initially into the paint. This is me when I am issuing a command through a terminal or putty. This interacts the hardware. But when I click on certain things, just like on Windows, you open certain programs, that is nothing but an application which interacts with the kernel and then the computer hardware. So that's what we have the difference, the way how we can interact with the shell. Okay, so or you also see that, say, a terminal is a command line interface. And that's what we will use, or we'll use certain editor also while doing the programming. Okay. So some basic commands. Command line editing. You can say like Control L to clear the screen. You go here and you want to clear the screen for your terminal. Where's my terminal? Just hold on a sec. Okay, this is my photo. Say Control L. Already nothing is there. Say Control L, it gets clear. Okay. Some shortcuts I'm telling you. Control W, delete the word starting at the cursor. Okay, so you typed some word here. I say Control W, it just remove where it removes the word where my cursor is right now. So that's what Control W is. Like it just same way you have Control U to delete all words from the command line. I will just write down few of them. I will not write all. Tab, what it does, tab auto finishes. Paths. Okay, so what does mean by that? Auto finishes path. I say /u. Okay, I put a tab. It offers okay what all you have on your machine. All right, so I want to get into one, and then I say tab. It will show again. Okay, app Oracle. So tab, it finishes the auto path. I mean, you need not to remember anything. It show you all other just like you click on Windows on folder. Finish your path. What you have inside that path, you can get that information. Okay, there are a lot of other things available. Control T. Swap the last two characters before the cursor. Escape T, Control H. Delete the letters starting at cursor. Okay, so this is nothing but I just wanted to give you an idea. You can Google them or you can try them with your own self what they does. Okay, so let's come to the executing basic commands. Okay, so now you've got how to get onto the terminal. I will not show you SSH client, but because I have to think about it. I mean, where to connect, and this is just a local host, nothing. It's not the remote machine, so that doesn't make sense to show you anything, right? So just consider that using SSH client also, this UI will not be available, but you will get this prompt for sure once you get into the terminal. Okay. So now you are on terminal, and most of our classes or sessions will be on the terminal itself. Okay. So simple commands like date command. Okay. You can get date man date to get into more details what date offers you. Okay. You check it here. Date. Currently this one is it's been offered to you. Okay. You can use these commands in all together to get the date format and all. Okay. Say Q and come out of it. Okay. What you want? So simply say date command shows the date. Okay. I want to see what ls does. Okay, so I say info ls. Okay, ls is nothing but it lists the content of the directory. So say info ls. Okay, it will give you all the information what it does, like man. Okay, same. So man can, you can get the manual two ways. Either you say man and the command, or you say info and the command. Say man or whatever command you know. Okay, it will give you the complete information about that command, how to use that, what all options it have, or you can say info command. Okay, the way you can get manual of any command. So why we do the manuals? We need not to remember all options. Okay, we need not to remember all options. What a command provides. You just look the manual and start working. Okay, but you must have some understanding of the manual for sure. Or how other ways also, like info, you can also take same, you can execute the command date -help to get the manual. Okay, this is about manual. Or command -h also is one option. Same way, that's so many ways to get the manual. Okay, whatever suits to you, you can use that. So, okay, I'll come to this topic later. Why shell scripting? Okay, so for you got some answers like what is shell, why we use shell scripting now. Or all right, so go back. Let me go to /tmp directory and let me see what we have there. Okay, I say -p. I'm creating one directory called sun. Okay, I get into this directory sun, and I'll create a couple of files. Touch a.perl, b.perl. I have say touch c.perl, or I got d.perl. Okay, so I have got 4 files. How we can see the content of the directory? Okay, very basic. I need to tell you. Basic command line to work on UNIX system, just like you work on Windows. Okay, so create a directory. Okay, mkdir, in fact mdir in Windows, I guess. mkdir dir name. Okay, it creates a directory. You can also say mkdir dir1, dir2, dir.n, like the way you can create n with the same command. Okay, how to see the content of a directory. Okay, how you can see the content of the directory. We have list, or you can say ls command. Okay, ls command, it offers you a lot of things. I mean, a lot of options. You can check with the manual ls help. Okay, so simple thing. You can use a long listing format -l. So say ls -l. It will give you the long listing format. It will give you whole information about this. What is this? This is file. This is a file. If we have a directory here, you will see the D symbol here. It will show you the username, group, date, timestamp, etc., etc. Okay, so I want to list all of the files which have .perl extension. So I say .perl. It will show you only those files which have the Perl extension. Okay, similar way you can use many more commands, like you can use top to see the CPU utilization. Okay, what you have in Windows to see the CPU utilization, you have the task manager. Okay, where you can see what my processes are doing, which process is consuming how much of the RAM, like my virtual machine is consuming this much, of my Chrome is consuming 160. Yeah, it moved. Okay, so same way what we have on Unix, we have top command. Okay, so you can see here what all commands are running all together right now. And you can see how much memory they are consuming, how much CPU utilized by them, and which user owns this program, what is the process ID of the user. Okay, so kind of thing you can see. I think IO status available on IO. Yeah, other command is that, but this won't give you the runtime stuff. VM status there. Okay, so every 5 seconds it will give you the stats. 5 is the sleep time, and 1000, it will recur 1000 times to show you the stats. So a couple of basic commands that Control-C come out of it. Or you can say top user, you just want to see specific user, like say Oracle. I want to see just what all Oracle users, what all processes which are owned by Oracle user. So it will just list out only Oracle user processes which are running onto this box. Okay, same way how you can, we have the top command. How to remove a directory. Okay, I just want to remove the directory that I created, so I will go back one directory, cd dot, and I say rmdir. So it says it's not an empty directory. So say rm minus rf. Okay, you have to take it recursively. R and F stands for forcefully. Clear the screen. Okay, how to create a file? Simply, say touch file, say, okay, so list how to see that, ls minus lrt will show you the file that you created, how to edit the file. Okay, how to edit the file, say shift and set vi. You can edit the file using the editor called vi. Say, hello guys, welcome to shell basics. Okay, how you can save that, wq. Now you say how you will see the content, more shell script, how you can see other way, more cat less, various ways, you can see the content of the file. How to remove the directories, rm minus rf done name. How to create a 0-byte file or empty file, touch. How to view the content, or other commands you have cat, more, less. You can also use vi, any editor, vim. Okay. So kind of things you can utilize some basic commands, and you will get at least some idea when you start working on it. And this is our course content. Let me see. This is for WebLogic. No. I need to pause the window for a while. Or I can focus. Stop showing screen. This is, the course content that we covered during the session. Like I said, some processing listing command. I gave you idea about the ls process directories, displaying process. Okay, displaying process. What you have? Say ps minus ef. Okay, will show you all the processes. Then you can put on graph that you want to just Oracle process or what. Show you this Oracle on thing that you have in this output. Show you those only processes. Okay, you don't have anything like that. So yeah. I shall, yeah. This is the topics that we will cover during the original course. We'll see about how you create the files, displaying files, direction symbols, how to take it from a file and scanning it to other file, how to use the word count WC command, how to sort the file, removing the duplicate, on file handling, creating directory, moving files to a directory, copying files. This course is meant to them specifically who are employees to Linux operating system. They never ever worked on it, but their job demands to work on the Linux operating system, and they feel afraid that okay, they never touched that, how they will work on it. So I'm for sure, I can guarantee that you guys will ease, and I can give you, better hands-on to this course. You can take a look, or Anwar will share more about the things. Cover also some basics of awk, how you can utilize awk. On shell programming, I will just cover these things. Uh, Control structure, the basics of shell. If you have any questions, you can get in touch with Danver. I have another session scheduled in 15 minutes. I need some break.